It could go anywhere? Is that a threat, or is that information? Oh, God. That's a way to start the video. Generic Control in the Duck Goose. We're here back with some more Five Nights at Freddy's theories by the Game Theorist. Today we are doing Five Nights at Freddy's 2 Gaming Scariest Story Evolved, The Killer Exposed. I have no idea. I've never played Five Nights at Freddy's 2, so I guess this is going to have spoilers in it, so I apologize for that. Maybe I'll play it at some point. I played to the very first game, and last week I did the scariest monster in Five Nights at Freddy is You. You can check out that video. I'll leave it right up there. I'll also link down below in the description. The reason why I started doing this was because one of my viewers commented on my videos every single day saying something different, because it wasn't a bot, obviously. I've talked to this guy on my other channels, and he's actually done other input other than asking for this for an entire year. He asked every single day for an entire year for me to react to this, and I did the first video on literally a week after. I had to make sure he did a full year, and then I finally dropped it, and then people showed so much love for that video. I read every single comment. It was like over 200 comments when I read through every single one of them, so it was a very long night of reading comments, because I do read every single comment. I reply to a lot of them as well, but like I said, I've never played Five Nights at Freddy's 2. I've only played the first game. There's 2 videos on my channel me playing that. I do not like scary games, and I'm excited to learn more about Five Nights at Freddy's and more about Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Apparently this made MatPat go insane. I have no idea. Shout out to the patrons. They get the videos day early. Couldn't do this without them. They allow me to not have a paywall on the channel, because I'm here to make you smile, not make you pay. Like I said, I read every single comment. And I should be live streaming my Pokemon Platinum Nuzlocke. I've never completed a Nuzlocke, so I'm trying to do my very first one, and I'm doing Pokemon Platinum. That's live on Twitch at 5 p.m. today. So an hour and a half after this video is live, I will be streaming my Pokemon Platinum Nuzlocke for 2 hours. But let's go ahead and jump into this video. Alright. Since y'all showed so much love for the first one, I've never played Five Nights at Freddy's 2, but I've seen people play this game. I'm pretty sure. Because this has the one that steals the batteries, right? In the vent. And they scare it off by the light, and you have a flashlight.
Don't worry though, we'll get everything cleared
I'm also streaming Pokemon Platinum, my first Nuzlocke. Oh! Oh, Jesus Christ, dude. I don't like scary games. Oh, God. Oh, God. That's a way to start the video. Jesus Christ. Okay, so, I haven't had any copyright issues yet.
Hello, Internet. Well,
so hopefully that continues to be a thing.
The show that promises
apparently
not to include any more
loses his
gratuitous
mind.
jump scares, unless that's just what I want you to think, so I can lull you into a false sense of security and scare you again.
I was
But
not. Is that the
I
Nightmare
won't
Before
do
Christmas?
that.
Never seen it.
I'll just let the uncertainty of whether a jump scare is going
gotta
to happen
sneeze.
or not drive you insane for the rest of this episode. Man, I love reverse
I saw a jump
psychology.
scare.
You know what else I love? These games! Not because I'm freaked
I thought
out
he
by
originally
the
hated them.
rosy-cheeked, tingle-looking, emotionally dead animatronics. Okay, well, Balloon Kid is pretty messed up, but whatever. No, what I appreciate
Kid.
about these
Oh,
games
yeah.
is the
Doesn't he
level
like
of
Benny?
thought that went into every element of
I've
the
reacted to
story.
Five Nights at Freddy's
When you create a
related
game
stuff.
that has people rage debating about whether it's a sequel or a prequel, you've definitely done something right. Unless that was never
The
your
game
intent,
creator's
in
done
which
some
case
crazy
you've done
stuff.
something horribly, horribly wrong. Anyway, the point is, Five Nights at Freddy's 2 looks to be everything
is
you'd
mangled
want
in
in a
this?
sequel. More cameras, more danger, and more fan. Oh, the fan. But that also comes with more questions.
moving air.
Questions about the game's lore. And while others will provide you with the jump scares,
Is that
I
Markiplier?
provide you
Wow,
with
you're not
what
gonna put Captain
everyone
Sparkles in
really
there?
wants,
Wow.
answers. Well, maybe not everyone. What an elite, educated
Wow.
subset of you really want, answers.
Dexter.
So grab yourselves a slice of Freddy Fazbear's
Wait, I've
signature
used that
pizza,
background
'cause
before.
we're about to dig in. Ugh.
I haven't had pizza in
It's
over
like
6 years.
Cardboard. Let's get the big one out of the way first. Is the game a sequel or a prequel sequel? And what I mean by that
what's
is
a prequel
contrary to
sequel?
popular
Well, I guess
belief,
it means
just
it-
because it has a
yeah.
big 2 slapped next to the name
Doesn't mean it comes
automatically
after.
mean the game comes after the first one in a
No.
timeline sense. It's a sequel, yes, but it tells a
Never
prequel
seen either of
story.
those. Are
Take,
those
for
games?
instance,
I think,
these
yeah, those are
all-time
games from Nintendo.
classics. Psycho 4, The Beginning, Lion King 1.5, and the actual all-time classic Godfather Part 2. All
Wait,
of them
what?
sequels that just so happen to
The
also be prequels. It's
yeah.
not mutually exclusive. So where
I've
does
seen
Five
The
Nights
Lion
at Freddy's
King.
2 fit in? Knowing its place in the timeline is crucial for understanding
That's
its
so many
story.
cameras,
Well, to figure
dude.
that out, let's focus on the paycheck
don't know,
you received
wind-up
at the end
music
of your
box?
5th night. The date places the
Jeremy
events of the game
Fitzgerald,
in
what a
1987,
name.
a whole 6 years ahead of when we determined the first game took
Oh.
place in our first video. Sounds like a prequel, but we found that date in the first game by calculating Mike Schmidt's hourly pay and comparing that to the minimum wage.
Which
of the
apparently
90s.
that video
If
was
Scott
really,
Cawthon,
really
the game's
wrong,
developer, is just picking
because
random numbers
Scott
for the payment,
changes it
this
up
bit
all
of
the time
evidence
to
would be
throw people off.
meaningless. Except that he's not. At the end of Five Nights 2, you get paid $100.50. Divide that by the
Wow,
30 hours
that's nice.
worked, and you get $3.35 an hour. The exact minimum wage for
What's inflation, though?
1987, which means that us using minimum wage calculations to identify the year of Five Nights
Yeah.
1 is a perfectly valid way to prove it, and shows that
Yeah.
it takes place after the
That's big
events
sad.
of Five Nights 2. Still don't believe me? Players brave
No,
enough
I
to
believe you.
survive the extra night 6 are rewarded with a bonus check and a newspaper clipping that
$20?
says the toy robots are getting scrapped, and that the old ones are going into storage for a new, smaller scale version of the restaurant. That
What-
would explain why the old models reappear in Five Nights 1 and the toy models don't. And notice how it mentions a smaller version of the restaurant. The building in Five Nights 1 is significantly smaller than the setting of Five Nights 2. Need more evidence? What about the fact that on the first night in the office,
Okay.
the phone guy explains
That's
that the
typically not how
robots
businesses
used to
work,
walk
but-
around during the day just like they do in Five Nights 2, but not anymore. Or the fact that phone guy dies
swear to God,
in
do
the
not
first
hit me with a
game,
jump scare.
making it hard for him to also be the phone guy in Five Nights at Freddy's 2 if it takes
Has a different
place
name,
after.
doesn't he?
Call me the Phantom Menace, cause every way to
I've never watched
Sunday,
Star Wars.
this game is a prequel. So with that revelation out of the way, we're able to
Okay.
piece together the rest of the timeline and dig a little bit deeper. Posters everywhere in Five Nights 2
Do they
welcome you
change?
to this new location, implying that there was another
There was the old
Freddy
one?
Fazbear's
Is there
Pizza
another prequel?
somewhere before this one. Additionally, the phone guy makes reference to it on night 1, mentioning the
What?
old location and how it was left to rot. So we
Chuck
know
E.
that there was
Cheese is
one
a
Freddy
restaurant, by the way.
Fazbear's Pizza for the first game, one for the second game, and one that came before both of them that we've never seen. But even before that,
Wait,
the
was they
phone
only
guy
put out the
also
second one
mentions
by the
an
time this
even
video
older
came out?
restaurant called Fredbear's
2014.
Family Diner, which,
Fredbear's.
aside from its confusingly different name, also had different owners. So let me recap. There's the restaurant from the first game, which is the last in the timeline. The one that you're currently working at in 1987 in Five Nights 2, an older
Okay.
location of Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria left to rot, and the
Left to
original
rot.
Fredbear's Diner. Jeez.
Diner?
I hope you're still with me, because this is more complicated
So
than
they
the
went from
Zelda
a-
timeline. Anyway, it's at this
I've never
first
played Zelda.
location,
Wow,
the
this
diner,
is-
where the
we're
whole
not doing
story
well.
begins.
Gravity Falls.
Submitted for the approval of the Game Theorist Society. This
heard of Gravity Falls.
is
People
the
want me to
true
react to it.
tale of Five Nights at Freddy's. When you die in Five
Is it the
Nights
true
at
tale?
Freddy's
There's
2,
Foxy.
before you've even gotten over the jump scare, you sometimes get a screen like this.
Sometimes?
Oh, turn it off.
Oh,
Turn it off.
E.T..
It's too horrifying.
That's the game they
That,
buried in a
youngsters,
desert.
was E.T. for the Atari, a console that came out before the NES. Yes, around the same time as the dinosaurs. It's widely considered to be the worst game of all
Yep.
time, hence
They-
me reacting in a horrified manner. See? Humor, folks. But seriously,
buried
you get
it in
these
a desert.
disturbing death minigames
I'm not
which,
kidding.
true to the 1987 setting, use Atari-esque graphics to depict
Huh.
various horrific events. All the while, a creepy, robotic voice spells out, letter by letter, things like help them, save them, or save him.
Who's
These
them?
death
Him?
minigames are the most important piece in figuring out the true story behind these games.
What
Let's start
is
with
the
this
tr-
one. This death minigame has you playing as Freddy, taking cake to screaming children at a birthday
That are
party.
mad.
As Freddy rushes around trying to keep the whole
Is it
party
impossible
happy,
to keep
a
them all
single
happy?
sad child looks on from outside. When suddenly
Oh,
you're
no.
powerless to do anything but look on in abject horror as a purple man pulls up in a car, murders the child, and drives
Murders?
off. It's my belief, loyal theorists, that this game takes place at Fredbear's Diner and is chronologically the first event that we see in this timeline. How do
Okay,
I know?
Golden Freddy,
well, it's
chill,
a small
dude.
establishment, and there's only one animatronic, Freddy, as opposed to all the other games
Does
which
a diner
show
need
other
animatronics?
robots. But more importantly, this murdered child is the one that sets everything into motion. One of the new
Maybe-
tasks added to Five Nights at Freddy's 2
Is wind up the
winding a
music box?
mysterious
I
music box
hate
that we're
that.
told placates one of the animatronics. If you
I-
fail to wind the music box, what you're
You
introduced
get-
to
don't-
is this
don't-
terrifying thing.
Ha,
The
ha.
puppet looks like no
Yep, I
face
hate
from
it.
Spirited Away.
I-
You know what
no,
else
I
it
hate
looks
that
like?
it's long.
Take a look at that murdered child again. See how his tear tracks remain visible on his face, even after he's dead? If we assume that they'll continue to stay with him
What?
into the afterlife, we can make a pretty good case that this kid's murdered spirit eventually found its way into the puppet animatronic. But that's not
Oh,
all.
cool.
What jump scare happens after
Someone
this
called
Save
Dean
Him
and Sam
minigame
Winchester.
after seeing
Jesus
this
Christ.
tear-stained child's murder reenacted in 8-bit.
And it's a purple car, too.
Puppet. The puppet jumps out of the screen and attacks
Oh, really?
you. Coincidence? I don't think so. That incident marks the first time the chain is ever associated
possible.
with a violent act carried out against a child, and we can infer that
What
it was
happens if
this
you
incident
made everybody
that
get
caused
mad?
the
What
original
happens?
owners of Fredbear's Diner to sell off to the company now known as Fazbear Entertainment. Now, I don't know about you, but if I was senselessly murdered and left to haunt a crappy pizza place for the rest of my life in the body of an awful-looking clown doll, I'd want to get my revenge as soon as possible.
That's
Unfortunately
true.
for our vengeful puppet, though, it doesn't quite turn out that way. Fast
What?
forward a few years to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, the first location, the one that has yet to appear in a game. This new restaurant is the
okay.
one we learned about in my earlier episode and throughout the first game, where our pal the murderer uses a golden Freddy suit to lure away and kill 5 children in the back room. As we read through the various articles on the wall, he gets caught the next day, but the bodies are
next
never
day.
found.
Had a good run.
Presumably because they've been stuffed into the animatronic suits. The restaurant stays open for a few months until the dead body stink starts to waft off the robots and causes the place to
feel
get
like
shut down
you would
for
smell
health
dead body
reasons.
faster
But
than a
how do
couple
we
months.
know this happened in the first pizzeria's location?
I'm
Again,
like,
we
give
turn
me
to
a
what the phone
week,
guy
I'm sure.
says. On night 2 of Five Nights 2, he mentions the smell coming from the old animatronics. The smell that got the original
2
restaurant
of
shut down.
Five
We also
Nights,
know that after the
Night
Golden
2.
Freddy incident, it took multiple months for the restaurant to get shut down. That couldn't have happened in the restaurant of Five Nights at Freddy's 2, which is shut down on night 6 and into the foreseeable
That's
future.
November
But outside of
23rd.
these
That's
lore
like right around
clues, it also makes
Thanksgiving.
logical sense. Before the Golden Freddy murders, there was one dead child whose tear-stained soul existed in the form of the puppet. But now there are
I
5
don't
more
like
dead
that.
children, and thanks to another of the death minigames, we find out
Hello.
exactly what happened to them. In the Help Them minigame, the puppet stuffs the dead children into the robotic suits, giving their
Why?
souls new life, and preps them for their eternal mission of vengeance. But Matt
So
Pat,
that's
you
how they
say
got
through your
there?
chattering teeth,
Or
there
maybe
are
this is
only
the theory, 'cause
4
apparently
dead
this is all
children in that
outdated like
game,
crazy.
To which I tell you, look closer if you
Someone
dare.
suggested I go to like the
Frame right
last one or the
before
newest
Golden
one
Freddy's head
and
jumps
just
out
like
and
try to
attacks.
figure out how we
Features
got
the
there.
lost 5th dead child, and what started as a haunted puppet has suddenly become an army of possessed animatronics out for revenge. But wait, that's not
Thanks,
all we
I
know.
hate it.
We also know the murder was committed by the same guy who killed the first child. How? Look at the Foxy death minigame. Twice, Foxy runs out to meet the kids, but the third time we see the tall purple man
Is that
again,
like Springtrap? Is that his
smiling.
name?
Foxy goes into the other room to find 5 dead children.
Oh!
The man in purple strikes again. Skip ahead to 1987,
But
finally
he
bringing
didn't come
us to
from
the
the other
events
side.
of Five Nights at Freddy's 2. The old animatronics have been retired. And
Oh
the
God,
cute
that
new
face.
versions of all our favorite friends come equipped with facial recognition software that
Oh,
just so
cool.
happens to be connected to a sex offender database. Seems like an oddly specific detail, right?
Very
Until you
specific.
consider that the last restaurant was closed for
But
having
sex
children
offenders can't
get
attend
kidnapped
a
and
place
killed by
like
an
that
employee.
anyway.
It's a safety measure. You see how it all ties together? So you have some
So what happens if a
animatronics
sex
possessed by
offender walks
vengeful
into it during
spirits
the
and
day?
Another batch on the prowl for predators. But that doesn't stop our friend the Purple Man from continuing his life's work of murdering children at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. As we learn from the phone guy on nights 4 through 6, the new restaurant
through
is
6.
once again under investigation as, well, I'll let him explain.
Hello.
Oh, we're gonna get
What
jump
on
scared
earth are
here.
you
I know
doing
we are.
there? Didn't you get the memo?
What do you
The
mean?
place is closed down, at least for a while. Someone
Also,
used one
isn't
of
that
suits.
the Scott that the
We
dude that
had a
created?
spare in the back, a yellow one. Someone used it.
Yellow.
Now none of them are acting right.
The Golden Freddy Killer struck again. The final death minigame also supports this. You,
What do you mean the final
as
one?
Freddy, must walk through an exact replica of the building. Animatronics all in their proper
Oh.
places, seeing the 5
In the
dead
proper
children
places.
spread out through the various rooms.
Following
and based on
the
what Phone Guy
doll.
says, it seems like the guilty party was the
puppet.
former night guard, the one who moved to day shift and the one your character replaced. I mean, Phone Guy makes plenty of uncomfortable references to suddenly having
There's
an
the vent.
available
Ah.
position during the day.
When we get it all sorted out, we may move you to the day shift. A position
Why?
became available. We don't have
Available.
a replacement for your shift yet, but we're working on it.
But
Please,
is the Purple Man
get me
really
out of this
someone
job.
we've never met and who's only worked there a week? Or is it someone we trust? Someone with a long history with
not
these
wanna work
characters?
there.
Someone no one would
I've yet to play
suspect.
Five Nights at
The
Freddy 2.
head
I
guard,
really
the one
don't.
forced to fill empty positions and teach new recruits by leaving them instructions over
Like, the first one's
phone.
already
Is
complicated
the Purple
enough.
Man the phone guy? Ask yourself this. What do we really know about Phone Guy? Let's look at what he says. First, he always speaks like an outsider looking in. He refers to the management of the company as they. So he's not a higher up like the CEO or even a manager. But he's
just a
also not a
person.
typical day worker, as he says things
What
like
if he's a
the
spirit?
employees and the staff. So he works there, but isn't generally considered a regular member of the company. We also
Maybe
know
he
that
used to work
qualified
there?
take the
Maybe
role
he's
of a night
like
guard,
an old
as we
spirit
learn he
that's
plans to take
there at
over the
night?
position sometime after
I
night
don't know.
6, and is on his way out of the position by the time the first game starts.
For now, just make it through the night. When the place eventually opens again, I'll probably take the night shift myself. I actually worked in that office before you.
Yeah, maybe he's dead.
Last week now, as a matter of fact.
What else do we know? Well, we know that the Phone Guy has a long history with the company, being with
Apparently.
it at least since the first pizzeria that we haven't played in. He also openly
Oh, yeah.
admits that Foxy the Pirate was always his favorite, and that he has
Why?
never liked the puppet because, as he says, it was
Look at it.
always thinking.
See, I told you you wouldn't have any problems. Did Foxy ever appear in the hallway? Probably
Why?
not. I was just curious.
Do you
I
like
said,
Foxy?
He was always my favorite.
Why?
I never liked that puppet thing. It's always thinking, and it can go anywhere.
Okay, but what
It
do
can
we
go
know about
anywhere?
the Purple Guy,
Is that a
the
threat,
Golden
or is
Freddy
that
killer?
information?
Well, let's look at the minigames again. He has a long history with the franchise, killing since it was Fredbear Diner. We see him smiling as he watches Foxy perform, Phone Guy's favorite.
Oh,
right
wait,
before
so you think
Foxy
Phone
sees
Guy
the
is the
room of dead
purple dude?
children.
No, I don't
We
believe
know
that.
that the puppet and the killer wouldn't get along, which would explain Phone Guy's discomfort around a creature that he describes as always thinking. And
No,
here's the
I-
bombshell.
no, right?
We know
No.
the killer is
No.
a security guard. How? On very rare occasions during the Save Them minigame, while Freddy chases the puppet, the Purple Man appears and chases you. Look on his chest. It's an orange badge.
It's a badge.
The kind that would be given to a security guard. Now look at his eyes.
run a cop.
Notice the white spots? An odd, seemingly innocuous detail. But now look at Golden Freddy. Look deep
What?
into his dead,
I don't-
vacant eyes.
Okay, this is
You
gonna be a
see
jump scare.
2 white spots.
No,
Pinpoints, barely visible. They're there. And now finally, what do we see?
That's a bit of
Well,
reach.
the Atari graphics make it tough to discern. It's not like any gun or knife I've seen. No, that to me is very clearly a phone. The robotic voice is spelling out
A
for you,
phone?
save them, save them. But when Purple Guy, Phone Guy, catches you, the screen crashes and all you're left with is, you can't. But that's not where it ends, Internet, as you and I both know.
Okay.
There's still Five Nights at Freddy's 1. If this game is last in line and the puppet is truly pulling
Last
the
in
strings
line,
behind all
no.
of this, you might be asking yourself where he is in Five Nights 1. We know the other animatronics got scrapped, but this ghostly guy should still be around if this timeline I proposed is correct. And get this, the
it's probably
puppet
not.
is in the first game. Take a look at the east
Where?
hallway. Seems pretty
Where?
normal, right? But every
Please
so
no.
often, the posters on the walls change to this, a crying child with 2 streaming lines down his face. Look familiar?
Really?
It should. The Five Nights at Freddy's series is about vengeance. 1 child, 6 children, more, looking for revenge against
All about
a
killing
sick
children.
child killer. The Purple Guy, the guy who just
With a
so happens
phone.
to be
Why-
the
yeah,
first
why does he
voice
have
you
that?
hear when turning on these games. Save them. Save them.
Really?
Can't. But hey, that's just a theory. A game theory.
Wrote up that music
Thanks
box.
for watching.
Okay.
Make sure you wind that music box
I
by
don't-
clicking the subscribe button.
I don't
Otherwise,
believe
the
that.
puppet
I don't
might
believe
get
that the
you.
orange guy
Click it.
is the
Click
phone
it.
guy. I don't believe it's the same
Guess
person.
you were safe after all. It's almost the holiday break. You know what I like to do during this time of love and gladness? Catch
What?
up on my favorite TV shows.
December
But
9th.
At this point, I don't have
What
cable
show is that?
and should probably avoid pirating
Comcast?
things, which is
Yeah,
why
you
I
shouldn't
subscribe
pirate
to
things.
Hulu Plus. And by clicking the link in
I
the
have Hulu
description
for
or
Demon
typing
Slayer,
in
which is on my anime
huluplus.com/MadPat,
channel. Duck Goes Anime. Check it out.
you
I'm
get a
on the
free
entertainment
2-week trial
district
of
arc. I
nonstop
just watched episode
for
2.
all your favorite shows like Bleach, One Piece, Family Guy, Sword Art
I
Online
do have a One
2,
Piece
or
reaction
if you're
channel.
like me,
Sword Art
really
Online, I'm doing
relive
the abridged with my
glory
best
days of
friend.
the 90s by marathoning Sabrina the Teenage Witch for days on
Never
end.
watched it.
Ugh, get together with Harvey already. While everyone else is fighting hordes at the mall, you, the smart one, will have done your online shopping
Yeah,
and be
no,
lounging around
everybody does
working your
online
way
shopping.
through season
And
1
this
of
was
Drunk
2014?
History. So get your 2-week free trial by clicking on huluplus.com/MadPat. The weather
Zombieland?
outside may be frightful, but the Hulu Plus is so delightful. That was admittedly very cheesy.
It was better on paper. Definitely better on paper. Also, there was Dude, Where's My Car? I don't believe that. I don't buy that theory. I don't think that's... No, I don't believe that. See, Purple Guy revealed. He says it right there. I don't think it's the same person. Also, I apologize. This has spoilers or whatnot. I guess I'll move on to the next one if you want me to. I really don't want to play this game. I really don't want to touch these games again. Like I said, y'all saw my reaction to that jump scare? No. Just no. I don't like scary games. You go back and watch my Resident Evil 2 live stream playthrough. It's a playlist on my channel. It's like, I think it's from 2019. And it was like one of the first games, like scary game. Actually, probably the very first scary game I ever streamed. I've also done Outlast and stuff like that. And I've streamed it. And it was absolutely terrifying. And I do not like scary games, but everything's always my genuine reaction because why bother? Why making something fake, you know? But oh my god, like I said, Pokemon Platinum was like at 5 p.m. today. I just got my 3rd gym badge. I have an EV now, so I'm about to go to the daycare and breeder or whatever. I don't know. I'm really excited. It's my favorite stream of the week, and I should have a death battle coming out an hour from now as well. But I really hope you enjoyed this video. I look forward to reading all your comments because last time you left a ton, so I'm going to read through probably 500 or 600 comments tonight, and I will reply to a lot of them. I can't reply to all of them because I would literally not sleep if I had to reply to 500 comments every single night. But I really enjoyed this video, and I hope you did too. Patrons get the next one a day early. Let me know if you want to see more. I would greatly appreciate it if you subscribe. But until next video, take care, and cue the music.